Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this yummy jollof rice. If you'd like to see how this recipe is achieved, please stay tuned. So for this recipe, I'll be using basmati rice. I'll also be using vegetable oil. I'll be using chicken stock for this recipe. I'll also be using paprika, curry, dry thyme, 1 Scotch bonnet pepper, tin tomatoes. I'm also going to be using onion for blending and 1 chopped onion for cooking. I'm also going to be using unsalted butter, minced garlic, 1 bell peppers for blending, and also tomatoes for blending too. So right now I'm just going to be blending my veggies. I'm adding my tomatoes. I'm also going to be adding bell peppers, onions, Scotch bonnet peppers into the blender and a little bit of water. And now I'll just be blending these ingredients together to make the pepper mix. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please support me by subscribing to my channel as I upload new recipes every week, and I'll be glad to have you in the Moga's Meals family. Thank you. So right now my pepper mix is blended and it's looking good. I'm just going to set it aside while I go straight to the next phase of this recipe. So right now I'm just adding my vegetable oil into the pot. I'm using about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You can see me measuring it, but you can skip that part if you don't want to measure it. And I'm also going to be adding 1 tablespoon of butter to the vegetable oil, and I'll be melting the butter completely before adding the next ingredients. You want to make sure this is properly melted before adding anything else to this pot. So after the oil is melted, you can see how it looks like. I'm adding my chopped onions now, and I'm also going to be adding the minced garlic to the onion, and I'll be sauteing this for about 2 to 5 minutes to make sure it's properly sauteed before adding the next ingredients for this recipe. So you want to make sure you give it a good mix. You want to keep stirring. You don't want to leave this place, just keep stirring it. Make sure it's properly sauteed before adding the next ingredient. So right now I'm just adding my tomato and pepper blend that I blended earlier on and a little bit of water to this recipe, and I'll just be mixing it together. So if you don't like this method, you can boil your tomatoes and pepper mix separately, steam it to make sure the water is reduced before adding it to the onion and garlic and ginger mix. But I like it like this, so I'm just cooking it together in one pot. Though it's gonna be messy and the tomatoes are gonna be splashing everywhere all over the kitchen, but this is how I like to do my jollof rice recipe, and this is how I prefer it. So right now I'm just adding my tin tomatoes into this mix. The mix has reduced in size, the water has reduced, that's why I'm adding my tin tomatoes, and I'm just going to be giving it a good mix to make sure it's properly incorporated together with the tomatoes. And you can see the color is changing just by adding the tin tomatoes to this. It's becoming a lot redder in color and it's looking good. So I'm just giving a good mix. I'll be adding my curry, though it's different from the one I showed you earlier on, but they serve the same purpose. I'm also going to be adding paprika to this, and I'll be mixing it because you can see the tomatoes is just splattering everywhere in the kitchen. So this is on low heat where I'm putting my ingredients. And I'm also going to be adding about a tablespoon of thyme to this. And I'm also going to be adding basil and oregano, though I didn't show you in the beginning of this recipe, but if you watch my videos, you know I like using basil and oregano for most of my recipes because I like the taste and flavor it gives to the recipes. And if you have bay leaf, you can add bay leaf. I forgot I had bay leaf at home. I didn't put bay leaf in this jollof rice, but you can add it at this point. So right now I'm just adding my chicken stock, and I'm mixing it a little bit at a time to make sure it's finely incorporated with the tomato blend. I'm just giving it a good mix. You can see it's coming together. I'm just mixing it properly. And now I'm just going to be adding salt to this recipe. I'm just drizzling it all over, and I'm also going to be adding stock cube. I'll be using 1 stock cube for this recipe. I'm just drizzling it all over too. I'll be using jollof seasoning. This is optional, but I like it for jollof rice, so I'm just adding it to the recipe and I'm giving it a good mix. You can also taste this to see if the ingredients are okay, and you can add according to your taste and preference, and allow this to boil before adding your rice. So I came back and you can see it's boiling. The ingredients are looking good and it's smelling nice right now. So I'm just adding my rice. You want to make sure you wash your rice with warm water to remove the starchy content from the rice before adding it to the recipe. My rice is washed right now. That's why I'm just adding it into the sauce, and I'm just gonna be mixing it together to make sure it is incorporated with the sauce. You can see it's coming together. It's looking good. If you have your bay leaf, don't forget to add your bay leaf to this recipe. I didn't add mine, but this is looking good right now. So I'm just mixing it together and make sure it's incorporated. So since I'm using basmati rice and I'm gonna be cooking this on high heat, so I'm just using a tin foil to cover the pot to make sure the moisture doesn't escape and the rice gets cooked properly. So I'm just using a tin foil. I'm increasing the gas right now because I'll be cooking on high heat, and I'm sealing it properly to make sure no moisture escape from this while I'll be cooking it for about 5 to 7 minutes. So I came back later on and came to check the rice, and it's looking good. You can see I'm just mixing it again to make sure the sauce and the rice are finely incorporated together. If you're still watching and you've not subscribed to my channel, please support me by subscribing to my channel, because I upload new recipes every week and I'll be glad to have you in the Mocha's Mills family. So right now I reduce the gas. If you're using basmati and it's not cooked, you can reduce the gas at this point and just seal it and allow it to cook on low heat. It will get cooked, trust me. You just want to leave it on low heat and allow it to cook. So I came back later on about 30 minutes to check my rice, and it's properly cooked. You can see it's mixed together. You can see the color of the jollof rice. It's beautiful right now. It's coming together and it's cooked. So right now just adding 1 tablespoon of butter, chopped onions and tomatoes to make this beautiful and colorful too. And I'm just mixing it together to make sure the butter gets melted. I'm also adding mixed peppers. I have this handy at home because I like it for my recipes, and it makes this recipe looks beautiful and colorful right now. You can see just by adding the mixed peppers, it has changed the look of this rice. So I'm just mixing it together to make sure it's incorporated with the rest of the rice. So you want to just give it a good mix and make sure it's properly incorporated. You can see how beautiful this looks right now. It's beautiful and it smells nice. So I'm just covering it again with the tin foil and making sure the veggies get cooked a bit. I'm sealing it properly to avoid moisture from getting it. Make sure the veggies get cooked properly before removing it from the gas. So this is my rice and this is how it looks right now. You can see it's properly incorporated together with the veggies. It's looking colorful, it's looking beautiful, and it smells nice as well. If you like to give this recipe a try, please let me know in the comment section. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so that other people could get to see this video as well and enjoy this recipe too. So right now I'm just garnishing my rice with my chicken that I fried earlier on, and it's looking beautiful and you can see how lovely this looks. So this is my jollof rice. It looks good, it tastes yummy, and it's amazing. Thank you for watching.